Forsyth in our Performing Arts Center today for the student athletes that we do have signing for the opportunity to go play at the next level of competition in a variety of sports. We did have a few sports that aren't represented here today that wanted to do some things, didn't wait until February and different things, but we have 3 sports today that are recognizing young men and women who have committed endless hours to being on fields, in training, working extremely hard, parents traveling to take them to tournaments all over the United States, and seeing their work pay off in today's recognition for what they have ahead of them. As we work through this, I'll give you sort of the ground rules, if you will, for what we do. We do this alphabetically. It doesn't matter, whatever. So baseball will go first, and Coach Bayer will be in charge then. Then we'll have girls lacrosse will come up second, and then we'll have our soccer program coming up to introduce their signees for the day. They will call them up pictures. We're thankful to have the Forsyth County News here, David Roberts, who's come to represent them and to help us with sharing the great news and for these student athletes. Thank you to our graphic arts and video class and students for being here and helping us capture the moment, and we'll be getting that out on social media as well after we get things put together there. Big thanks to Coach Bronner, who helps get the communication out, and the coaches responding to that. So without slowing things down anymore, I'll call up Coach Bayer, and he can get us started today with pictures. It'll be the families when everything's over. If baseball wants to come and have their 3 guys together and get pictures and the whole team, we can do that at the end. We would like to get a picture of everyone who signed today and be able to get that out. That's one thing we always do, and get all of those young men and women for that. So, Coach Bayer,
first and foremost, just want to thank everybody, the school administration, Ms. Wilson, Coach Gravett, for putting this on. I've been here for 13 years, and as the years have gone on, the ceremonies and really just the respect that we've given to these young men and young women moving on to the next level has just compounded annually, every year getting better and better. Couldn't be more proud for the boys, couldn't be more proud for the young ladies for the things that they've accomplished. I know firsthand for the 3 young men that we have signing tonight, as a parent, want to say to you parents, congratulations. The amount of sacrifice, financial, physical, emotional, and everything else that you've given of yourselves for your children to be in the situation that they are to move on to play at the college level is something that's just absolutely astounding and an amazing accomplishment. Of the 3 young men that we have tonight, I always kind of talk a little bit too much, and I apologize for that, but it's just with all the pride that I have and how proud I am for the young men and what they've accomplished, they deserve at least a little bit of moment for them to help commend everything that they've accomplished. So the first young man that I'll bring up, to echo off of Coach Gravett, we'll bring him up in alphabetical order. Hopefully I don't mess it up too much. It's pretty straightforward. Is going to be senior Ryan Becker, who's signing with Presbyterian College. Ryan has had an amazing career here at South. He had the opportunity as a freshman to dress with us, saw a little bit of limited time his sophomore year, worked his way into the lineup. By the time he was a junior, he was an absolutely huge, impactful piece to not only the team's success, but our leadership. Last year, I think nobody would argue the fact that offensively he was one of the 2 biggest catalysts for us that helped carry us when we got hot and made our run into the state playoffs. He's had to endure some injuries and some other things, but academically he's an absolutely amazing student, amazing young man. His family has been uber gracious to the program and to myself. Poor Matt's going to be in withdrawal after 7 years of being on the booster club and not being around me. But couldn't be any prouder of the things that Ryan has accomplished in his first 3 years. His senior year is only going to be that much more amazing, and then he's going to have, without a doubt, a very decorated career once he gets out there and is able to compete for an impact position behind the plate for the Presbyterian College. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring up also the Becker family as well. as we celebrate Ryan's signing with Presbyterian College. That's all right. It's a great read. The next young man and family that we're going to go ahead and bring up is our beloved first baseman, left-handed stick, Brennan Hudson. A couple wonderful things about B-Hud as he comes up. Much like Ryan, he got thrown into the mix as a freshman. Dressed on varsity with us, ended up being out there, probably a little embarrassing to Brennan, but probably pre-puberty. In certain moments, it was probably a little bit of a challenge for him physically, but the things that he was able to do for us defensively was amazing. He was thrown into the fire, playing with a lot of major Division I players. We made the trip that year to the National Invitational, playing with the 16 best teams in the country. He was on the field competing against a lot of first-round picks, guys that are knocking on the door to play in the big leagues at the moment. He went out there, took everything in stride, continued to progress, get better, didn't let the bumps in the road as an underclassman frustrate him, kept working, kept getting bigger, kept getting stronger. Coming into his sophomore year, it was like he just exploded overnight. Physically, he was a major presence on the field for us, both defensively at first base and offensively at the plate. His junior year last year had a major decorated year for us. He actually started out a little slow. The second half of the year was one of our biggest impact players. I don't think Brennan will ever forget, nor will we, the walk-off double that he had in the Sweet 16 at Woodstock to push a Game 3. Just an absolute leader for us, leads by example, physically, emotionally, in the locker room, in the classroom, and just amongst his peers. On top of him being a decorated baseball player, he's also the starting center on the varsity football team and will be in action Friday night for us when we take on North Gwinnett in the first round of the state playoffs. Can't be more proud of this young man, his family, who's also graciously supported us over the years, and can't wait to see how successful he's going to be when he moves on next year playing at Georgia State. Brennan Hudson. And the third young man that we're going to bring up is a right-handed pitcher, Dylan Quintilio. And a couple things about Dylan, took a little more of a traditional route in the program with us at South. His freshman and sophomore year, he was an impact player in the 9th grade in the JV roster. Coming up into his junior year, we knew that there was a lot of talent there. We didn't necessarily know what it was that we were going to get out of Dylan, but we knew that he was going to be able to help the program on the mound one way or the other. He worked his tail off in the off season. He probably had his moments where he knows in the throwing program he wasn't too fond of Coach Bayer pushing him and being hard on him, but he took it to heart and he continued to work, continued to get better. Going into the spring season, he was probably on paper our first arm out of the bullpen. We unfortunately had an injury on the first day of region play, and he got thrown into the fire opening night in the first inning against Lambert at home. He went out, ended up completing that ball game, became a staple in our rotation, continued to get better and better and better to the point where he gets us into the state playoffs, ends up pitching and winning a decisive game to push a Game 3 at Dunwoody, and then came out in the next round of the playoffs and threw absolutely lights out at Woodstock. Continued to progress over the summer, got stronger, dedicated himself to the weight room. The next thing you know, he's turning heads and more heads and more heads. And from a kid who was just starting to compete to be a big part of the program, turns himself into a Division I college baseball player. I couldn't be more proud about everything that Dylan's accomplished on the mound, but just like our other two young men, he's an accomplished student, he's a great leader, and the things that he does to push all of our younger players to be better every day only makes us that much stronger. So without further ado, I've got my man up here, Dylan Quintilio, who's going to sign his letter of intent with Kennesaw State University. Wanted to thank all of you again for being out here. Extremely appreciative of the young men in the baseball program coming out, making time to be here for your boys. I think it speaks volumes of you guys and everything else going on within the school and the community. Couldn't be more grateful to have the young men and young women that we do. I know, again, talking about my time here at South, in 13 years, we've had 63 kids go on to play college baseball. That's a direct reflection of nothing more but the hard work the boys put in, their family, their support, and just living in an area where there's so much athletic talent. We're extremely blessed. Now it's baseball season. Congratulations, fellas.
Hello, I'm Coach Jim. For those of you that don't know, because I didn't know this at first, Danielle and Kaylin are twins. So it's kind of tough to talk about them individually because I'm so used to them being one. So I'm going to give you a little icebreaker. About a month ago, we're at a club, we're at dinner. We're sitting there and it's someone's birthday. We decide, hey, what's your birthday? Someone says their birthday. Someone says their birthday. Someone says their birthday. Danielle says her birthday. I asked Kayla when her birthday is. They're twins. They have the same birthday. I didn't realize it. I never think of them as twins, all right? I think of them as individuals. Declaration of Independence, it talks about, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. But fortunately, we realize all women are created equal also. We have given women the opportunity to do things 30 years ago that they couldn't do. In the state of Georgia, you could not go to college signing to be in a female sport of lacrosse. Today we can do that. The first Division I athlete, woman, to go into lacrosse, Nikki Renfolo, came from South. All right, I spent a lot of time with her, coaching. I learned a ton from her. I hope 30 years from now, things are a lot different than what they are today. All right? I hope 30 years from now, we have tons of women all over the place having the opportunities that these two fine ladies have. And I mean that. I totally mean that. I hope that we can continue to do things that we never dreamed of before. I'm going to start off with Kaylin. Kaylin, extremely hard worker, will work multiple jobs, play lacrosse, mock trial. We had a game, so mock trial, because of the pandemic, was moved, and it's now with the lacrosse season. She's in mock trial. We're playing a game. Before the game, she says, I only can play up until this point, because then I got to go to mock trial. So she's sweating, it's hot, sweat's coming down, dirt, the whole 9 yards. She then leaves, gets all dressed up, looks like a librarian, has the glasses on and everything, goes to mock trial, and you see these pictures, you're like, how is this person a few minutes earlier playing on the field, and now they're doing this? It's a determination, all right? Kid's always working, all right? Every minute, whether it's getting up in the morning before school, after school, doing what it is that she needs, and the same thing with her sister. I think those are the things to be proud of, all right? Those are the things that make us who we are and what we take into life, all right? Those are the lessons that we learn at this young age. I had the pleasure of really meeting Kaylin and Danielle at a tournament a couple of years ago. I didn't have a lot of kids to play on a team, and they volunteered to come play. And definitely the talent was a little bit less than what they were used to. But they gave it everything. They gave it 100% to make it the best that it could possibly be. Those are the people that we need in the world, all right? We had one girl that was out on the field, she was struggling and everything. Kaylin wasn't feeling well, and I remember saying, Get Kalen in the game, because 50% of Kalen's still better than 100% of the other person. All right? That is the determination. That's the defense that she plays. That's what she brings every single time she steps on the field. All right? Every single time she steps on the field, she gives it everything. And if you're going to go try and score on her, you're going to have to go through her, because she's going to take that charge. She's going to take whatever it is that you give to her. Those are the lessons that we learn that help us get through life. All right? Sports is not just about sports. Sports is the life lessons of learning how to take disappointment. Sports is learning how to be a team member. All right? Sports is knowing that the highs aren't always that high and the lows aren't always that low. But you can get through it with your teammates. And I think that's probably the best lesson that we could all learn. And I hope that everyone does learn that lesson. On that note, Kaylin's going to be signing with the University of Findlay, her letter of intent, and the family coming up. Next up, we have Danielle Serbinsky, Manhattan College. So again, it's kind of tough to talk like individually and so forth, because there's a lot of different things that kind of comes as a group and so forth. The one thing that I will say is that, you know, there's a lot of teammates that are out here today. We have community coaches from Chattahoochee, Mill Creek, Lambert. We have players from opposing teams that have come out. I think that means a lot. I think that says a lot about the people that we have up on the stage tonight. One day, someone had the nerve, a coach, when she was younger, to tell her she would never be a goalie. Last year, she took us to the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. Last year, she made All-County. Last year, she made All-State. Last year, she represented Georgia in the national tournament. So if you let someone tell you that you can't do something, it's not you, it's them. She's come a long way, and she has made it to where today she's signing with a college. If she had listened to that person who said she would never be a goalie, where would she be today? I don't know. None of us do. But it's that determination that you have to have. It's that belief in yourself. It's that against all odds that we can do something. You don't have to be the most skilled player. If you work really hard, you have that opportunity. All right? You don't have to be the tallest. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. What you have to do is have to have that heart. You have to have that will. Because there's no one else I'd rather have as my goalie. And we're fortunate enough to have one more year with her. Again, someone told her she couldn't do it. She would never be a goalie. And they couldn't be more wrong. Couldn't be more wrong. With that, she's going to sign her letter of intent with Manhattan College. So I leave you with, I'm passionate about what I say. I believe in everything that I say. I believe in our programs, but I've learned a lot, you know, about the different programs here at South in my 1 year being part of the sports side. It's definitely different than other places that I've been. People really believe, people bond together, people want to do things in a different way. I think that it's important that people put studies first, because regardless of what type of athlete you are at some point in your career, even if you go professional, you have to rely on something. And I think that's all represented at South. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to know Coach Gravett, proud to know Miss Wilson, proud to coach alongside Coach Smith. Some fantastic people within the program. You know, as the baseball coach talked, I mean, I thought that was a great speech that he gave, and I learned some things from that. Keep learning, keep doing everything that you can. Go South.
Hey guys, I'm Coach Wagner, better known as the teacher with the dog. This is my first year taking over for the boys soccer program. We won state last year. We got huge shoes to fill. We're super thankful that Coach Thomas is here. She led us to the state championship last year. First female to ever do that in boys soccer. So big accomplishment for her as well. We miss her dearly, but we're glad she's here to share in this moment. As Gavin signs with Georgia State today, I'm super excited to get to work with him and be around him. As an assistant last year, I just loved getting to watch him play. Not only does he obviously have the skill set to have earned this, but he's just fun to be around. And we're so thankful for his whole family to be a part of our program this year. I love working with the guy. It comes with its challenges, but he's a great kid, and he shows it on the field. He really is a leader. He's such a funny kid, but he knows how to turn it on and become a leader on the field. And the guys gravitate towards him. They want to do what he does, and he points them in the right direction on the field. So I'm super excited for, as my first year being the head coach, to get to work with him. Because I just know it's going to be a blast, and to have somebody like Gavin as one of the leaders for our team, that's going to put me in the best position possible and put the team in the best position possible, and I know he's going to flourish again this year. So I want to invite his family to come on up as he signs with Georgia State. Again, super thankful for his family and obviously his teammates, other coaches, former coaches, everybody who's here to support him today, friends. It's going to be another great year, and he's a big part of that, and everybody in here is a big part of that. I can't echo it enough. I know you heard everybody else say it before, so I'm not going to take long, but we're super thankful for the support that we get at South from our admin team, from everybody, and from the community. So again, thank you guys for being here for all these athletes.
That signed, and to those of you who perhaps will in the future, congratulations. Keep up the hard work, stay dedicated to your studies, to your sport, enjoy yourself along the way a little bit, and be sure to give your mom a kiss, your dad a hug or a handshake, because without your parents you wouldn't be where you are. Thank you.